What's up guys, Sal here. So Apple introduced the notch with the iPhone X 5 years ago in 2017. And ever since they've been using the same notch over and over again, although the latest iPhones do have somewhat smaller notch than before. However, with the iPhone 14 Pro, Apple is finally expected to move on and implement a much more modern look, a punch hole front design. But a few weeks ago, we learned that it's not going to be a punch hole design, rather a combination of punch hole and a pill-shaped cutout for the camera and the Face ID sensor. To be honest, it looks really weird, but not too bad, definitely better than this abomination. But now we have a new leak that shows us that this front camera tumor has grown so big that it now looks like this.
What the
We have a display panel leak of the iPhone 14 Pro from Weibo, which has independently been verified by John Prosser, that reveals that the pill-shaped design isn't exactly tiny, rather it's close to the size of the original notch, but with the empty black space taken away, leaving just the cameras and the Face ID tech. You see, while the notch still isn't a good design choice by any means, I would still take it over this big pill cut design any given day. At least the notch is symmetrical, this is not. Apple is known to make beautiful looking products, but this right here looks even uglier than the $200 Androids we have today. Anyway, only the Pro models will have this design. The iPhone 14 and mini will get the same notch cut out again. If we keep the design aside for a moment, then the iPhone 14 Pro will get some meaningful upgrades. First, Apple will finally up the RAM count on the new iPhones. The iPhone 14 Pro and Max will feature 8GB of RAM this time to match Samsung's new Galaxy S22 phone. However, Samsung offers 12GB of RAM with the S22 Ultra, so there's that. But in my opinion, the iOS is well optimized, so 8GB at the moment is way more than enough. Second, the Pro variants will also see an increase in megapixel count from 12 on the iPhone 13 Pro to 48 megapixel on the 14 Pro lineup. It's possible that output images from the iPhone will still be 12 megapixels in resolution, because similar to Android phones, Apple is likely go for pixel binning to get images with more detail and less noise. Ming-Chi Kuo also says the video camera system will also be upgraded, supporting 8K recording for the very first time. Samsung is the first one to introduce 8K recording with the S20 Ultra, but to be honest, 8K footage right now is best regarded as a checkmark in the spec sheet rather than a truly useful feature. Even though the 8K footage might reveal some extra detail given the right subject matter, they show a ton of artifacts alongside a general softness. Hopefully, Apple makes it more usable with the new iPhones. Speaking of the camera, the iPhone 14 Pro will not have any camera bump, instead it will look like this, which honestly looks beautiful. Apple is accomplishing this by making the iPhone itself thicker. Also, there are rumors that Apple could introduce a portless iPhone with the iPhone 14 lineup and could also bring back the Touch ID in-display fingerprint scanner. But looks like it's not happening, at least with this year's iPhones. Of course, with that being said, do let me know what you think about this down in the comments. And as always, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.